That guy was one of the best.
Yeah.
Hold
One
on.
more thing. Okay, so I do want to say, I think that this not command, I keep wanting to say that, the 10 Directions ability ruins the Boruto franchise. I've felt this since I first saw it. I've always been iffy. There was something I didn't like about it. It is the multiverse thing for me, the thing that Mello was saying the other day. It's not that he's wrong, he is right. But that's my problem, is that I hate the fact that he is. I hate the fact that there's multiverses in Boruto now. So, like, hypothetically, if Boruto wants to time travel, he just can do that. He finds a time traveling turtle. He can travel to the past or the future. If he travels to the future, which future is he going to teleport to? Is there any telling? Can he just teleport to any of them? Or is it going to be the future, the one that's going to happen? But, like, they're equal possibilities, seemingly. Like, it's not like one's gonna happen and then they change the timeline to where something else happens. And then same for going in the past.
Yeah.
Is the time slip arc just a different reality where other events happened anyways? Like, apparently, just in the present moment, it's not just Boruto changing anything. Sasuke and Boruto, that just doesn't matter. Just because that present moment happened, anyone could have made a different decision that led to a different altercation in the timeline. Neji, no, I'll even say something that just wasn't involved at all. Darui could have done something during that time, just because that time existed again. That butterfly effect led to Kaguya winning in the end.
Yeah.
Hey, what the heck is he doing here?
Like, it's not like they went back to their past. They went to some random past. They could have gone to their past, but the odds are apparently pretty low because there's multiple pasts, multiple presents, multiple futures, apparently. Just any of them can exist at any time. So I don't like that.
Yeah, I kind of feel that. This is where I kind of... It depends on execution. I generally don't like multiverse timeline stuff.
Yeah.
For that reason, it's like, I really just like... To some extent, it almost feels cheap because it's like, oh, well, I screwed something. Oh, it was just a new timeline anyway. It almost feels like a cop out to where at least you can make it that way, to where stuff just doesn't matter.
Yeah. And then to an extent, like you're saying, it doesn't matter. It makes everything feel unearned. Because Naruto didn't defeat Ishiki because he endured and overcome. He did because this is just the one timeline where he happened to. And thanks to RNG, this is the one that we're watching.
But he endured it in this timeline at the end of the day.
Yeah, but why are we watching this timeline as opposed to one of the ones where he lost?
Yeah, that's not a question I'm asking. I don't really care about that, I'll be honest with you.
Well, the other thing...
Steal away his jutsu or whatever.
Okay.
To address Sauron's thing really quick.
One last...
I want to say...
tiny last...
It's not even a thing of like, oh, why are we watching this timeline going to the... It's the fact that Naruto did lose in another timeline. Not the fact that he can lose, because yeah, of course he can. But the fact that he did. So in some timeline, he didn't endure and overcome. That's not in Naruto's character. It's not like he made the choice to not endure and overcome. He just didn't do it, apparently, in one of the timelines where he just loses.
But we don't know what he didn't endure. It could just be that Ishiki just tried harder and killed him.
It could also be that Sasuke is the one who didn't endure.
But again,
like,
or maybe Kawaki. No, actually, honestly, though, I think... Okay, real quick. The best case scenario is that Kawaki did something different. He either didn't come out to save Naruto, or he just never ran away in the first place, so he didn't listen to Naruto, or something different, and that's why they lose. So it's because of Kawaki's actions. Well, it's probably the best way to approach it,
I was thinking
but we don't know what it was.
My guess is, instead of proposing the countdown at all, he just verbatim kills Naruto, and just a purely emotional response, Kawaki in a bit of rage comes out to fight Ishiki, and just obviously would lose.
No, that's absolutely something Kawaki would do. He would be like, well, there's no point now. Naruto's dead.
That as well, yeah.
Yeah.
But...
This world is hell now.
Yeah. But that aside, again, I'm fine with it being someone else's decision, but it's not like Naruto hasn't fought and defeated and overcome enemies stronger than him before. The point is that he's a shinobi. He is adaptable. He finds any way he can to win. Even by the skirt of his teeth, he always finds a way to overcome people stronger than him, because that's what he does as a shinobi. That's the whole
Yeah, and
point
that's
of
what he
proving
commonly
Kawaki
does
wrong.
within.
Shinobi
That's what he
always find a
commonly
way.
does
Well,
within this timeline, and the reason why this timeline matters more is because this is the timeline we follow.
well, but guess
It'll
what? Guess
always
what?
matter
You
more
know
than
what?
all the
No.
ones that we don't see.
This proves Kawaki right, technically, because Naruto is wrong. Shinobi don't always find a way. They find a way when RNG allows them to.
They always find a way in this.
Yeah, they find a way in the story we're not reading. Sorry, they die early in the story we're not reading. And here's the problem. It's not like Kawaki has this ability to know that or something. He doesn't know.
They
It's not
always
that
find a
Ishiki
way
can't win,
within
it's the fact that he
their timeline.
does win. So no, Shinobi don't always find a way. Because yeah, the point is Ishiki's hard to overcome, he's hard to defeat, but the point is that he was defeated. They did defeat him. Why? Because Shinobi always find a way, meaning no matter what, they were always going to win in some kind of regard.
They always find a way in this timeline, and this is the timeline that they're actively experiencing.
I mean, apparently
Whether or
not,
not they
considering
lose
Koji's
in-
changing the timeline to go the right way.
Yeah, which then changes it to where like it's always going this way. Like now that's just how things are. So they've defied whatever most likely outcome that was meant to happen, which was either somebody losing, somebody winning, whatnot. They defied that, and now they're
But it's not like
here.
there's a
And the
reason.
reason why this one,
It's not like there's a reason we're on this timeline. The timeline where Ishiki wins is seemingly just as likely possible to have occurred. It's not like Naruto defeated the timeline where Ishiki wins. It just so happened to be that this is the one where it all just worked out. They got lucky, in essence.
Mhm.
Say your thing, please. Go ahead.
It's lost my train of thought. I don't remember anymore.
Okay.
I lost it.
Like, maybe this works for real life or whatever, if you want to go with theory, science, blah, blah, blah. This doesn't work for a screenwriting story.
A screenwriting story?
Yeah. Did Ishiki earn his win in this arc? In any kind of way? In any timeline?
A,
I don't think so.
a screenwriting story?
Alright, don't be nitpick pedantic like us. Okay.
I'm sorry. What you said was just like, okay, Ood.
The way the story is written, this is the way the story should go, based from a screenwriter's perspective. There shouldn't be some other outcome or alternative.
But there's always going to be a what if. And now the what
That's
if is
fanfiction, though.
real.
That's fine. That doesn't exist. But now, this canonically exists. That's a problem.
It could potentially be a problem.
Why potential?
I'm not fully in it that it's a problem yet. I need to. I need a bit more. But
Okay.
it's definitely
Yeah, I'm
something
not
that
gonna
did-
jump the gun and assume it's
It did
bad just yet.
It rubbed
It's
me
just
the
something to
wrong
be
way.
weary of. It's how I'm gonna look at it for the moment.
It
Okay.
definitely rubbed me the wrong way. It's just like I need to see how far they take this first
Mhm.
before I'm like, yeah, I just think that this is vile.
Okay.
It's tricky though because there
don't-
are certain elements I really like about it because to some extent, like the whole ability is proving that destiny is in your hands and you forge your own future and blah blah blah. So there are elements that I think are really good. So I don't want to like only shit on it. like just for the fans here who think that we're being haters, like I actually, for the most part, am cool with the ability.
There's a
It's
ton
just
of
gonna
stuff
come
there
down
that I
to
love.
some
Like,
specifics.
Yeah.
even if Kashin Koji's what he's saying is very odd to me, like I said earlier, there should be an infinite possibilities of that, that, and that. But like, technically speaking, but like if what he is saying is like in most timelines, these are the most likely events. But we are the one of the few timelines that it doesn't happen in. Something we're going about doing is changing time to where we are getting the less likely outcome to actually happen.
To clarify,
That
I'm
is
glad he can see the future. I think that narratively works, especially for his character. It's consistent with the lore we understand. Ada can see the past, Momoshiki can see the future, blah blah blah. Even freaking Naruto movie 1 established seeing the future as a thing in this universe. So, Naruto Shippuden movie 1, in case I didn't clarify that. So, it's already a thing, I'm glad, but the multiple futures, the multiple possible timelines is where I have a problem with it. If he can just see the one, and then he can alter that one timeline because a future isn't set in stone, but there is one timeline that's gonna happen rather than multiple possible timelines. That is the way to fix this for me. When it shouldn't have been a problem in the first place.
my issue. So that's where we get back to the infinite thing. It rubbed me the wrong way as soon as you said there's like infinite.
Yeah.
I always it's always it never rubs me the right way whenever writers introduce infinite, because you have to be very careful with how you choose about writing that. You can easily mess it up because infinite literally means anything is possible
Yeah.
within like reason. Of course, like again, Naruto can't give birth to a freaking baby or whatever. Within
I feel like
reason,
even countless would be a better word.
exactly. By countless, he means these are just a lot of things, and I can't see them. It doesn't mean that it's all infinite, but like there's quite a lot. But I think writers choose infinite mainly because for like a sense of scale, and like technically a lot of actions are like you can make tons of different actions, so technically it is infinite, but like it's more countless than infinite. There's only so many things you can do. Um, it definitely is. It's finicky. I don't know. I wish that there was like maybe 3 timelines. I don't know. We'll
Well,
see. We'll see.
I mean, the other thing to consider is this is why I don't want to jump the gun on it is part of this is just using Mello's way of phrasing things. I don't think you necessarily need, obviously the definition you pulled up, like the possible thing would make it a multiverse by that definition, but
I don't care about the multiverse
I still
thing. It's not
don't
the verse, it's the multi.
feel comfortable. But I don't feel comfortable saying that like these things did happen. I the way it's presented in the story is that they like Naruto didn't lose to Ishiki. It was that it was possible. Of course, it was possible that he would lose,
Exactly.
but it didn't happen. I don't think
Yeah.
there's a parallel universe where it did happen either.
Exactly.
Did-
I
That's my
think it's
problem.
just
Yeah. Exactly it.
So like Kashin Koji never implies that. Did he ever say that there was like an alternate reality where Naruto lost, or did he just say that there's a
no.
reality?
He's just saying
He said that
like
there
in
was
the
a future
vision
where
he
he
saw.
could have lost.
Yes, like and he
did
sees those.
lose.
He sees those futures.
There's a
like where it
I'm
happens.
not actually sold on this multiverse thing. Maybe somebody can explain it. I'm not completely sold that this is a multiverse thing.
The definitions Mello pulled up made it technically a multiverse, but not in the practical sense that you're used to it. And so he was arguing for that one too. I'm still skeptical of that until it's directly confirmed, in my opinion at least, because to me, it's more like he saw the possible futures. These are possible things, and he can see that possibility where Naruto loses. But it's not that there is a reality where Naruto did lose. It's that there is a reality where Naruto could have lost. But because Naruto persevered and is a shinobi and blah, 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 he doesn't lose. And what that would mean is, in the sense of Koji's ability, he just gets to see, like, the probability, the random chances, all the things that technically can happen. In a sense, you know, when you do a versus battle, you take someone out of character, and that might influence compared to what we get in the story in character. Koji might be able to see an out of character Naruto do something, maybe that makes him lose. Or hypothetically, when Naruto, end of Naruto, when the end of the Valley of the End stuff, you know, Naruto's quote unquote stronger than Sasuke, but he doesn't want to kill him. Maybe Koji would see a future where Naruto goes out of character and does want to kill Sasuke, so he just does kill Sasuke. But of course, Naruto will be in character, so he will never do it. But Koji can see the possibility because his ability just lets him see those versions. So that's how I'm going to look at it for now. That's how I want to look at it. At least I'll admit I'm biased, but that's how I want to look at it.
Because
But
he already knew it
sounds
was
fine to me.
possible. He already knew it was possible because he was putting his faith into Naruto. He doesn't know Naruto's going to win. He just hopes he will against Ishiki. So he already knows it's possible to lose. The fact that he's seeing it, but his ability isn't like a thing that he can see fake things. He's seeing the future. So there is a future where that does happen. It exists.
Futures, though.
Well, yeah, but it exists is a thing. Because the future we got is also a possible future, and he sees it in the exact same way.
The ability.
Yeah, but then he just gets to confirm which one was the future as it happens.
Yeah, I get that, but what I'm saying...
just not sold on the alternate timeline thing. I'm currently still skeptical, and I think it's just he just sees what's possible, and it's different from just guessing what's possible. He gets to actually see it, and he gets more information because Koji was never just gonna guess that the Shinju thing would happen. No, he sees it, and hypothetically it doesn't happen. What do you do? But he's seeing something a lot more specific than he would ever just guess. So. And of course, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I feel like he's just seeing it. It's like a dream. It's like a vision. And because it's Naruto Shinjutsu nonsense, the visions just happen to be true. At least one of them is.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case, though, because this isn't going with the idea of like it's a red herring or it's a fake memory or whatever. This isn't Delta's misdirection rewrite ability to where he's being fed false information. He's seeing reality. Well, it's not that it can happen, it's that it does happen in the future.
Though.
Well, no, but it's like Schrodinger's cat with the superposition. Both are true at the same time. Naruto does and doesn't lose in the future. Both happen. We're just on the timeline where it doesn't. Because otherwise he's not
I'm not
able to
sold
see
on it. Like, in all honesty, I'm not sold on it.
Well, he can imagine the scene in his head, but he doesn't want it to happen. He's not even imagining it. He's forced to see Naruto losing. That's not something he wants to see. That's something the ability is showing him. The ability is to see the future. Every possible future.
No. The ability is to see all possible futures. It's not to see all futures. It's all possible futures. The futures are all possible. But it doesn't necessarily mean they all happen in parallel universes and stuff. I don't think there's any, I don't care what Mello will say, I don't think there's proof that all these futures happen. I think there's proof that Koji sees all of these possibilities. The same as for example, as before this chapter came out, Momoshiki seemingly saw a vision, and it wasn't a genjutsu. It wasn't like inherently light. No, he saw a vision that didn't happen, which would just mean he saw a possible future that he thought was the future. Of course, it wasn't. So I feel like it's kind of the same thing to where he's just seeing possibilities. One of them will be true. He doesn't know which one. It's like, for example, Gamamaru's dreams. He's just seeing he's never been wrong. But when it comes to some of his prophecies, at least the one we actually know, he sees two versions. He doesn't know which one it will be, but he knows one of them will be the future. And I do not think that there's an alternate parallel universe to where Jiraiya gives up and Nagato wins or whatever. I think there's just the one version, but Gamamaru doesn't know which one it will be. He just
So-
knows it'll be one of the two. I
Unless
think it's the same with Koji, but instead of 2, it's like 50 billion.
unless you're saying Shinjutsu divine ability nonsense that allows the impossible to be possible, any shenanigans can happen, to where he could just see things that
Well,
don't
that is
exist.
that's how they're divine miracles.
Is
That's
that
kind of the point.
is that your
Shinjutsu.
answer to this though, for how this is possible? Because that sort of has to be in this case. Because what you're saying doesn't
how
possibly
my
make sense
answer to how what is possible?
to how Koji can see these, because he's seeing things that don't exist.
Oh, absolutely. The same way that Ada, through Shinjutsu nonsense, can just go into random past and present situations across the world and can just snap her fingers, will to make anything real, and Damon can just reflect attacks and so on and so forth. Yeah, I think it's just Shinjutsu Shibai nonsense.
Okay. If you got that, then I can't counter that. That's fine. But the way he words it again,
No,
because
real quick.
the difference between Ada, we've already talked about this. The
Well,
difference between Ada's ability and this.
real quick before you disagree. Assuming my interpretation is correct for a moment, would you be okay with it?
I'd definitely be more.
Assume
okay.
I'm right. Are you then okay with it narratively?
I'm okay with the concept, not okay with the execution. And here is the execution right here. Take one fate we've already escaped. Not one fate that's not one idea of a future, not one possible future that was possible. A fate that they've escaped. So it has to exist for them to escape from it.
That's where it's tricky. Because I get what you're saying. Because right now we have a conflicting thing. The ability to see all possible futures. That's all he's saying, what I said. Then you're getting this escaping fate thing, which might sound different. But to be fair, that could just be fancy Viz prose. It's like, in what he's just saying in a fancy way, we didn't end up succumbing to that fate.
Yeah.
Because he says we escaped. I don't think it's that, we used the space portal to go to a different planet to avoid the fate. No, it's just that we didn't have to suffer this fate. The fate never happened.
Yeah, and he
in
said
my
that
opinion. In my opinion, the Ishiki fate doesn't happen.
And he says
he literally says that ended up not happening, for example.
He says that it was a likelihood that it would have happened, and it's like, yeah, it was a likelihood. They were going against all odds that they could actually end up pulling this off.
Here's
That's why,
another
the other
problem.
day, if you remember yesterday, Oodie, and I asked about the difference between it existing and happening question. And of course, Mel did the whole objective subjective answer thing, but because I feel like the reality exists in the sense, Koji saw it, but the reality doesn't end up happening. To me, that's what's being implied here. Now, you could say the execution is unclear and you don't like it, and I'm totally cool with you saying that. But the idea, assuming I'm right, which I do think I am, of course, a bias, whatever. I think I am right. I'm okay with this. Of course, if you are right, Oodie, I am absolutely in agreement with you saying that is kind of shitty. Not kind of, but very shitty, in fact. But I'm not going to be too quick to say that is the case, because I do think, I'm going to hope at the very least, that it's just he sees the possibility and that's really it.
Two more aspects of this.
Only one future happens.
Two more aspects of this. I think it's also visually depicted the way I'm describing. He's seeing